Hello, everybody, and welcome to to the very first ever episode of Three Count with Gino. It's all wrestling all the time. Today, we're going to be talking about NXT Battleground 2024, coming to you live from the UFC Performance Center. It's going to be quite the historic card, due solely to the fact that it is coming to you from the UFC Performance Center. Also, that's kind of a very good card. Outside of, I'm not the biggest fan of the main event, but we'll see what happens there. And I'll explain to you in a minute what I think may happen in the main event. But let's kick it off with the six-woman ladder match, which is history in and of itself, as it is going to be for the first ever North American Women's Champion. And it's about time that NXT had a mid-card title for the women. It's Ruka, Lash Legend, Fallon Henley, mm, Ken. That's me. My friend. Sorry, guys. Stick with me for a minute. I forgot the one competitor's name. Lash Legend, Fallon Henley, Ruka, Kendall, sorry, Kalani Jordan, Meechin, and Jada Parker. There's two people in this match I think don't have much of a chance to win the belt. And that's only because they're still so green and so new to the industry. That being Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker. They're both very good and they're going to be better once their careers get going. But they are still too new to this industry to have held the championship of any sort, even though they are both very talented and are going to be good in the future. Although I think that Jada Parker should change her finishing move because a running hip attack is not a finishing move. Um, that being said, I think there's three people that have a legit four people, sorry, that have a legitimate chance to win this belt. Three that I'm going to tell you I think have a majority chance. One that's a long shot, and that's only because I don't think NXT or WWE thinks too highly of her. That being Fallon Henley. They do like her, but they do like to have her lose a lot. Not be shocked if she wins the belt. She's an extremely talented girl. She's had some very good feuds. Um, but I think she may have a highlight moment. Excuse me. I think Salbruka may hit her with the soul snatcher off the ladder. On was she on another ladder, kind of like a spear, but you know what I mean. Been limited, pretty much virtually eliminating them both from the match midway through the card. I think this is going to come down to Lash Legend and Meechin, aka Mia Yim. Who I think may win is Lash Legend, who I think should win is Meechin. That's solely because I think Meechin is an extremely good talent. I've been a fan of this lady for a long time. I've been a fan of her throughout her entire run, let it be NXT. WWE didn't do much with her in itself. We have Impact. If you are a fan of the Indies, she had great runs on both Shine and Shimmer. She had a good run with WSU. She's been champion pretty much everywhere she's been. She's proven she can carry something and not drop it given the opportunity. And Vince isn't in charge anymore, and I think Triple H really likes her. He knows that she's talented. Shawn Michaels likes her, you know that. He had her beat drawing a blank right now. Lyra Valkyrie's old stalker to get through to the next round, and Lyra Valkyrie's old stalker is obsessed with gold. So therefore, she may end up costing Michin the match now that I think about it. But personally, and thinking logically, I think Lash Legend's going to win the belt tonight. The only reason I don't see Lash Legend winning the belt tonight would be if Metaphor, her team, gets involved and kind of screws her out of winning the belt. That's my personal opinion. I can't see. Well, Fella Henley's the only other person I see having a chance at this belt. Kennedy won't get, or sorry, Kendall won't get it. Jada Parker won't get it. Kalani, sorry, not Kendall. And I do not believe Fallon Henley will get it. I think it's either going to be Lash Legend, Saruka, or Michin. I know I keep rambling, but my personal opinion and my gut feeling is Lash Legend. My heart wants it to be Michin, but I'm going to go with Lash Legend. Following that match, we're going to have a very good match for the North American Men's Championship. The champion being Obafemi, defending against Joe Coffey and Wesley. Personally, I think this is Wesley's last match on NXT before he heads up to the main roster. I think he's going to eat the pin in this fight, in this match. I'm not going to overthink this one too much. I think Obafemi is going to drop this belt at any time now because I think he's good enough to go chase after the heavyweight strap. I think Joe Coffey's done extremely good work every time, the entire time he's been in NXT. I don't think I've seen very many bad Joe Coffey matches, even if they had to carry the other talent. Um, I mean, the other two guys, and Gallus have been rewarded with the title runs. That being his brother Mark and Wolfgang. They were NXT Tag Team Champions and NXT UK Tag Team Champions for quite a long time. Joe Coffey's come also close, but never close enough. I think it's time to give Joe Coffey a run with the belt, and I think he'll do a very good job as North American champion. He's a very good heel. He's good at his job. He makes you get enough heat to hate him or cheer for them. Gallus is a very popular stable at the moment right now, and I've always been a fan of these guys. I think all three of them are extremely talented in different ways. Joe clearly being the most talented of the three, and Wolfgang probably being the least, but I like Wolfgang a lot as well. But I think the outcome here, something's going to happen with Obafemi on the outside. He's going to get distracted, but the referee's not paying attention dealing with Obafemi. I think the other two members from Gallus are going to come in and help Joe Coffey lay out Wesley. And like I say, I think Wesley's going to be taking the pin in his last ever match in NXT, and this will be a send off to Wesley. He'll get to see his thank yous to NXT. NXT will get to see the thank yous to Wesley, and I think we're going to see a brand new North American champion. Being after that one, we're going to be having the underground match between Lola Vice and Shayna Baszler. This feud kind of weirdly came out of nowhere after they were tag team partners, a mentor, and the fact that Shayna thinks that Lola kind of flaunts too much and enjoys shaking her ass more than actually getting better. And I don't disagree with Shayna. I think Lola does shake her ass quite a bit, and she's going to be a star in the future. I just don't think it's the time right now. This is like the past versus the present former cage fighters. How much you want to take a bet that there may be actually in the UFC cage since it's at the Performance Center? Um, I think this match is going to be a lot better than people think it's going to be. The only thing is, I don't know who's going to win this match because both need the win in different ways. Both can also, I think, more so Shayna can take the loss more than Lola can. But at the same point, I don't know Shayna can take the loss more than Lola can. So, because Shayna is chasing after the tag team titles as Zoe Stark, and is she going to be like a valuable threat if she loses to a person who's in training when she's a main roster person? You know what I'm saying? Whereas Lola can take a loss, come back, bounce back, and chase after the North American title. She's not quite ahead at women's championship rankings yet, but I think she will be in the near future. Whereas I think Shayna, after eating so many losses and having some of her credibility gone, needs a win like this. Kind of help me believe that her and Zoe are both going to be credible threats to these tag team champions when they go to Scotland. And I'll break down who I think's going to win that next week when that pay per view happens. But do I think Zoe Stark plays a factor in this match? No, I don't think going to do a lot of shenanigan matches and finishes in this pay per view. And this one is either knockout or submission. The last time Shayna Baszler was in a match like this was against Ronda Rousey, and she put Ronda Rousey to sleep. And Ronda Rousey's left the WWE. And if you've seen anything recently in media, Ronda Rousey just making a complete debacle of her entire career, everything. So kind of thankful Ronda is no longer in WWE or associated with wrestling. Um, in a roundabout way, just thinking about it, like I said, I don't know if either one of these people can take the loss, but there is no disqualification. It has to be nap or tap. Shayna Baszler was dominant once in NXT. She went to the main roster and Vince destroyed any credibility this woman had by just having her lose, turn into a vampire, lose. After she ran straight through an elimination chamber and eliminated the only person in the history of that match to eliminate every other single competitor. Um, Lola's had some big wins. This might be the biggest match of her career, going against the former NXT Women's Champion who had the longest, most dominant reign in the history of that division and company. Um, which is hard. I don't know. If Lola wins, it puts her on a path to be close to a contender, if not number one contender to one of those belts, maybe, doing what she's done. But at the same point, Lola also just recently lost to Carmen Petrovic and Natalia with Shayna as a partner, setting up this match we have tonight. Um, if I'm picking with my brain here. I think WWE sees more out of Lola than they do Shayna. I think they have a star with Lola solely because she's connected with the fans and people stop caring about Shayna thanks to Vince. Um, Apparently looks like I'm leaning a little this way. I'm not saying Shayna won't win and she can't win and she shouldn't win, but I think WWE is going to go Lola. I think they're going to play a safe bet and go with the person they think is going to be the star and not pick the person who probably should and needs to win this match more. Because one loss like this won't really hurt Lola, while a loss like this, while Shayna's chasing title, even though it's a tag team title, may hurt a little bit to people who believe she can't beat Lola. So how's she going to be even credible, even have a chance to win the tag team championships? You know what I mean? I might have just changed my mind into talking myself into should be the winner of this match now, actually, I think about it. Yeah, I'm going to go with the person I've been thinking the whole week. I think Shayna wins this match. I think Shayna's going to win this match by submission. Lola's going to go for a spinning backfish. She's going to miss. Shayna's going to carry through to clutch her, and good night, Lola. That's my prediction. Okay, following that, we're going to have, I believe it is the Tag Team Championship match, which is Axiom and Nathan Fraser versus the Good Brothers, who were returned, then disappeared, and then returned again, and they still have done not much of nothing since they've been back in the WWE. They've been backstage collecting catering. With Michin, but at least Michin got back to doing something on NXT. The Good Brothers are now recently back with AJ Styles on the main roster. So that I don't know if they can lose the first match after turning heel so quickly. Even though I don't know if they're heel back in NXT, but I don't know if they have anything to do with anything there. They've had one match. It was all right. Axiom and Nathan Fraser have had one title defense, that being against the Authors of Pain. After recently winning these bouts versus the Wolf Dogs. God, I miss the Wolf Dogs. Um, I think it's way too quick to take the belts off of them. But it's kind of like you got the Shayna Baszler situation going on here. These two guys had turned heel. They're on the main roster. You put an NXT title on a main roster person a while ago when you did it with Becky, and it only brought more credibility to that belt. Well, giving the NXT tag team titles to a very, very, very well established, very good tag team like the Good Brothers, give these belts more credibility once they drop them. I don't know. Should Nathan Fraser and Axiom lose these belts this quickly? Probably not. Do you think there'll be shenanigans in this match? That's where my prediction comes in. I think Gallus is going to get involved in this match again too. Go after those tag team titles. They're going to cause a disqualification, eventually costing the Good Brothers. Axiom and Nathan Fraser are going to hang on to these belts, and then at the next pay per view or the next show or who knows what, there's going to be a three-way for these belts. And oh, excuse me, guys. I think Nathan Fraser and Axiom will drop the belts in the three-way. I don't think they're going to drop them today, but I also don't think it's the right call to have Nathan Fraser and defend these belts by disqualification. I think you have to give these guys a good, credible win against a good tag team. Not that AOP is not good, but they're not a well-established, well-known tag team like the Good Brothers are. I think you have to give Nathan Fraser and Axiom a chance to win against a team that's very good, very established, very sorry for that. Very well at one point was respected by the wrestling community. Now they just become a page collecting joke in a way. Um, but unfortunately, I think that they're going to overbook this and they're going to get Gallus involved, and it's going to be a big kerfuffle. And yeah, I think it's going to be DQ finish. I think we're going to have a three-way for those titles. Following that, we're going to have what I think should be the main event of the night, but it's going to be the co-main event of the night. And for those of you that are living under a rock, Jordan Grace from from Impact Wrestling is now in NXT for the one night and maybe the one night only. She's facing our champion Roxanne Perez, who, in my opinion, might be one of the best not women's wrestlers, but just wrestlers on the planet Earth, or the planet right now. Even though a lot of people think she's predictable, boring, slow, annoying, so on and so forth. If you read the people, but Roxy's so talented and recently just gone heel like a couple months ago after winning that belt from Lyra. Defended it once or twice. She's in this weird storyline with Ava, where pretty much she challenges Ava to find her opponents, and Ava brings her random weird opponents. Like 2 weeks ago was Chelsea Green, beats Chelsea Green. Now all of a sudden it's Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace does have history with WWE being in the Royal Rumble, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Jordan Grace eliminated Roxanne in the Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. So there's kind of a story there. Here's my theory: if they go with Jordan Grace to win, does that mean the Roxanne will turn around and be like, okay, well, you beat me for my belt on my show. How about we go to your show? You put on both of your belts since I've been there before, and we see what happens. That's what I think. They might be thinking column A, but column B may also be, well, we can't have Roxanne win. She'll look weak. And Impact won't want Jordan to lose cleanly if she loses because then she'll look weak. And they don't want their champion looking weak, right? So, I don't know if a lot of you have been watching Instagram or anything like that lately, but randomly and recently, Cora Jade recently posted that she's been working out again and training, getting better closer to the ring. I think there's a long term story that's been planted and people are just not paying attention to it. Remember when Cora turned on Roxy and cost her the tag team belts? And then Roxy won the women's belt? I think there's gonna be a full circle plan where it's always been their plan to get the belt and get rid of Mandy. And now they've done both. Maybe I'm overthinking this. But I think Cora's gonna come back, and since she can't wrestle right now, she'll kind of be like the Diesel to Shawn Michaels, like a bodyguard where nobody gets close to that belt. And if they do, Cora will do something to help her keep it, like Diesel used to always do with Shawn. This is my theory of completely shooting barrels and a fish in a barrel, or whatever the expression is, right? But I think at some point tonight, somebody weird and dressed weird is going to come out, somehow distract Jordan, and the referee at the same point. Roxanne's going to lay out Jordan with the other belt, the Impact belt, put her in their crossface, and Jordan's not going to tap out. She's going to pass out. And then Roxanne will eventually challenge Jordan for Jordan's belt. And we'll see what happens from there. That's my thoughts. And then eventually Cora's going to just turn on Roxanne and take Roxanne's belt. And Roxanne will be going to the main roster. That's my personal opinion. But if Roxanne does lose tonight, I think Roxanne is going to the main roster. So you have one or two choices here. But I think there's no way they have Roxanne lose the belt to somebody who's not a part of their company. I think they're looking for somebody inside their company to win the belt off of Roxanne. All right, following that, we have the main event of the evening, which I think should be probably the second or third from the top, not the top card match. I think the women's ladder match, I think Roxanne's match should be ahead of it, but that's personal opinion. And that's only because this guy's champion. And I think, unfortunate for him, that being Carmelo Hayes, he has to follow the likes of Ilya Dragunov. Sorry, not Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams. He has to follow the likes of Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, Gunther, Walter, whatever you want to call him, Tyler Bate, Butch, aka Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, and Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, and yeah, all those guys are great, great NXT champions who put on great matches. Seth Rollins, all these men were Big E. All these guys put on an excellent match after match after match after match. Aleister Black, Andrade Almos, Drew McIntyre. These guys are extremely talented, great wrestlers who have had that NXT title at one point or another. Some not so long, some for a long period of time. And Trick is very good on the microphone. Very, very good on the microphone. His in ring work is to be desired because you can tell he's still very green and still learning. He's been wrestling for all of like what, 3 years total now? And Ethan Page, in my opinion, is a guy who's been overlooked his entire career. Recently debuted 2 weeks ago in NXT, and his very first match, he gets a title match. Make of it what you will. I think NXT may do something to shock the world or shock the system, as people say. In my personal opinion, I think AEW and Impact dropped the ball. I think they completely misunderstood what they had with Ethan Page. I mean, the most memorable thing Ethan Page did in AEW was a feud where he was with Page Friends, that Sky Scorpio Sky, against Sammy Guevara, Ty Mello, and I think it was Frankie Kazarian. Make of that what you will. Other than that, I don't remember much of Ethan Page in AEW because I don't think they knew what to do with him. And at Impact, he was tag team champions and he was out the door. So this might be the best chance Ethan Page gets to do anything. I don't know if people actually seen this guy work, but he's incredibly good when he gets given the opportunity. Um, but I don't know if Trick Williams loses this quick. I know I've been going conspiracy heavy on this whole video, and it's my first video, but there's a guy that I can think of who's been saying things and has said he's got a trick up his sleeve and he has something to show people. Sean Spears. I think Sean Spears might play a factor in this main event here. Because for a while now he's been saying he's coming, he's here to help. He won't say who he is or what they're coming for, what they're helping with. I've heard him say that a few times in interviews. Does Sean Spears play a factor in today's main event? You guys tell me in the comments. I don't know if Trick's going to lose. Do I think Trick should lose and Chase the Bout will be better for everybody involved? Yes. But do I think that WWE will do that? No. I think, once again, they're going to be looking for somebody they think can carry the brand, that can take the belt off of their champion. Sorry, I forgot to mention Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is another NXT champion who's very good. Is Trick Williams what they consider a transitional champion? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to have him win the belt that quickly and then just drop it. Unless they have big plans for Ethan Page and they want Trick at the main roster that quickly. But they clearly have to know he's not ready yet, in my opinion. Um, as you can tell, I've been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on who should win this match. I'm pausing now to think about it. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Do they pull the trigger on Ethan Page and make him champion's first show in the company? Do they have Trick Williams get one of the bigger ones of his career over a big name veteran? Some enough people care about Ethan Page that he's in NXT to have him have the belt. Is Trick Williams Team Guy? No. And that might be the answer. Trick Williams is so hot right now. And he's so likable and he's so charismatic. I think NXT fans will learn to like Ethan Page and his ego and his hateability. I just don't know if now's the time because it's too soon. But if he wins the belt, he'll become the most detestable person in NXT until Trick gets his belt back. Those are my two thoughts here. My two theories. Is it column A? You go with the Hawkeye who's a champion in the face and really likable, or the guy that you're gonna want to murder after he beats Trick for the belt. You know what I mean? Sean's got two balls. Which one's he gonna juggle and throw in the air and catch? I'm personally booking this thing to make Trick even more likable, make his long run possible more possible. I make the babyface chase the belt again. Kind of like they did with Braun when he was champion and then he lost right away to Dolph. If anyone remembers that, when there was that hideous NXT multicolor thing. Um, but I don't know if they're gonna do that. And I don't know if Sean Spears is gonna play a factor in it. I'm just shooting monkeys in a barrel. And I'm definitely overthinking this for it being pro wrestling. It's probably not as complicated as I'm making it out to be. But in the long run answer, I'm gonna say Ethan Page wins tonight and Trick chases the belt again. Let me know what you guys think in your comments below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the pay-per-view, and we'll talk again soon. See you guys later. Bye.